Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and revisionist history, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with White Knuckles from Trust, released in 1981. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. White Knuckles might have been released in 1981, but its germ can most likely be traced back to pre-1977's Wave a White Flag, a little bedroom recorded acoustic ditty, only brought to light for most of us with the reissue of My Aim is True on Rykodisc in 1993. The last known live performance of White Knuckles, as noted by the invaluable Elvis Costello Wiki, was in November of 2013. Why do I mention this? Well, in the immortal words of Elvis Costello from nearly 40 years in the future from when White Knuckles was released, those were different days and those were different drugs. White Knuckles came down to put the frighteners on. I believe she's the one that he's got his heart set on. It doesn't matter if your face doesn't fit. There's no charge for changing it. With a deceptively simple AABB rhyme construction, using the identical rhyme of on with on to begin, this first verse is chock full of idioms, metaphors, at least 3 different mentions of different body parts, and some keen alliteration thrown in at the end. In the first line alone, we have the title words that depict a display of extreme excitement or fear, the tight grip of white knuckles. Immediately following this vivid metaphor is an early calling card of Mr. Costello's work, a distinctly British idiom, put the frighteners on, which means to intimidate or threaten someone. Put together, it seems we have the groundwork for a tumultuous young love story. Knuckles, heart, and face begin the many mentions of body parts that will be found throughout this piece. Face and fit, and charge and changing provide a pleasing sound to an otherwise sinister proposition. Oooh, what are you doing? You see right through him. You don't have to take it when he gets cruel. As if to drive the point home from the first verse that something is not quite right, here's a warning, a pep talk, a bit of admonition perhaps. Certainly, it's starting to feel very much like a product of its time. White knuckles on black and blue skin. You don't have to take it, so you just give in. White knuckles sweatin on the headboard. Never found out what the kisser was for. There are so many dark traits hanging around and hiding behind these 4 simple lines. Black and blue denotes something habitual, a backstory, if you will, a cycle. The end rhymes of skin and in and headboard and for hem in more mention of body parts. 2 mentions of white knuckles, then skin, and finally a provocative and aggressive sounding slang word, kisser, that evokes old-timey bravado, such as when Ralph Cramden of the Honeymooners proclaimed, "One of these days, Alice, pow, right in the kisser." The phrase, "never found out what the kisser was for," has the ability to send us in so many different directions with an exact meaning never actually decided upon. Just another example of Mr. Costello's brilliance. Losing face with the boys while she's whispering in his ear. They never found out why they called it laughing gear. Maybe they weren't loved when they were young. Maybe they should be hung by their tongues. Face, ear, tongue, and laughing gear are 4 more body parts mentioned in this piece. But there's so much more to it, isn't there? To lose face means to be embarrassed or humiliated, accusing the one that he's got his heart set on of unsavory behavior, it seems. In the parlance of our time, this is what we might call victim blaming. Then, to add a synonym we didn't know we needed, they never found out why they called it laughing gear, swoops in to provide another British idiom and to further amuse ourselves with inexact meanings. Uh-oh. Under the blankets with the body jerk, he needs her like the axe needs the turkey, thinking of Après, all this fancy footwork. Jerk, turkey, work. They add such a melodic punch to this second bridge. Does body count as a body part mention? If so, then we're up to 8. Or does it disqualify itself from our count due to its reference to a spasm? What a great way to insinuate the word jerk into the conversation. The expression, like the axe needs the turkey, is an idiom that means to be extremely attracted to someone. Also referred to as like the axe wants the turkey, it's an idiom that's referenced in the 1941 film The Lady Eve with Henry Fonda and Barbara Stanwyck. It's a movie about deception and how it turns into obsession. White knuckles on black and blue skin. Didn't mean to hit her, but she kept laughing. White knuckles sweatin on the headboard. Never found out what the kisser was for. Is it still a chorus if a line changes? If so, here's a chorus, only with the second line changed. In the first mention, it was, you don't have to take it, so you just give in. Now we're venturing back into wave a white flag territory, with a little more distancing rounded edge of, didn't mean to hit her, but she kept laughing, as opposed to the first-hand account in wave a white flag. Oh, but you didn't have to laugh that way. There's always someone new to toy with when the penny drops in the slot. Now it's a petty crime on the news at 9, but it's all she's got. Love on the never, never dreams don't come cheap. I don't close my eyes when I go to sleep. Slot and got, cheap and sleep. Each verse has followed the same AABB rhyme structure throughout the piece. It should come as no surprise how well structured this complicated piece truly is. So far, we have slow dragged with a verse in AABB structure, a bridge, a chorus, a second verse, a second bridge, another chorus with alternating second line, and now this third verse. This will be the final verse before one more bridge, 2 more rounds of changing second line choruses, and an ending coda. I can't decide if this last verse is a confession, a regret, a qualification, or merely a well-placed change of topic, or possibly it's a little of everything or nothing at all. Let's be quick to point out how Mr. Costello's pronoun placement is in top form. With, I don't close my eyes when I go to sleep, it's the only place in the piece where he uses the first person I. It nearly recontextualizes everything that has come before it. Uh-oh. It gets right under your skin. It makes you as miserable as sin. You don't have to take it, so you just give in. Doubling down on the sentiment posited early on, you don't have to take it, so you just give in. It's as if the final verse tried but made no difference in the lives of these romantics. Why you don't come round anymore? Mother said, he's using you. Sister said, I told you so too. When he goes to your head, you took it to be true. As with many a tense and tumultuous love affair, it can run off your friends and lead people who don't usually give their opinions to speak up. When he goes to your head, you took it to be true. is both a great parting shot and a way to send this entire piece back into a circular argument that starts the piece all over again.
Dig it.
Again, this has been a slow drag with White Knuckles from 1981's Trust. Beautifully structured, cleverly told with all the metaphors and idioms we love. This piece is nevertheless from a very different time. Somehow, though, its message keeps the tarnish off its reputation. It might very well be a cautionary tale to young lovers who seem to mistake tumult for passion, sex for love, and violence for a physical embrace. Other gems from Trust you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episode 18, Rowdiest but Slightest. That's a slow drag with Luxembourg. Episode 41, Money's Gone Already. That's a slow drag with Clubland. Episode 66, A Lifer at Large. That's a slow drag with Fish and Chip Papers. And episode 80, Hobson's Choice. That's a slow drag with Pretty Words. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. I'll be back soon with another slow drag, so please subscribe so you won't miss an episode. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky Social. And as a reminder, I've placed the audiobook version of my first novel, The Most Terrible Time in My Life Ends Thursday, on YouTube. Please follow the link provided if you'd like to listen for free. I know you'll love it. And as always, thank you for helping to get the word out about this little passion project, especially now that I'm not on Twitter. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with running.